Hang on. I gotta make sure. I'm a mess. Okay. I'm almost, it's actually time. I usually get on here a couple minutes early to wait for people to come in, but today I'm exactly on time. Hi, I'm Michelle from Unicorn Centaur, and this is the weekly live stream. If you're new, if you've just clicked on this and you're like, oh, what is this? I do live streams every week on this channel, and they're usually creatively based in some way. Tabitha's here and Zadel's here. And it's also like a community hangout. We can like touch base with each other. It's a way for me to figure out like what's going on in the community of extra equestrians. I did have another plan today. Madeline's here. Hey, I forgot to tag you, Madeline. I'm glad you're here. Sometimes when people come in the chat and I realize like, oh, I forgot to tag that name in the Facebook post. If you're watching this and you're not a part of our Extra Equestrians Facebook group, you can go on over. There should be a link in the description box where you can click on. Make sure that you answer the entry questions and click that you agree to the rules. It's important because otherwise we don't know that you're on the same page as us. So hi, it's a live stream. So today, I actually did have a different plan for today. If I seem a little like scattered or more scattered than usual. I did have a different plan for today. I was going to continue work on the crown helmet cover that I'm going to do, but I cannot find my craft foam anywhere, and I could not get out to the store today to get some more. So at the last minute, I was like, okay, we're going to have a tack chat. We're going to talk about something. We're going to have a conversation. My boots are filthy. They need cleaning. So that's what we're doing today. Hi. So today our topic is online horse shows. How does that even work? So I have my dirty boots. They're very dusty. Isn't that nice? Here's my other boot. These are Ariats, and they're supposed to be like waterproof, all-weather kind of things. And they do keep my feet nice and dry. They are a little bit big and clunky. I mean, I kind of like that, and if I have time, I might shine up the leather on my half chaps here because it's getting kind of crunchy right here on my half chaps. So there you go. It's been a while since I dragged out my tack cleaning gear. I've got my weatherproofer. I think I still have a little bit of mink oil. I've got my little various rags. Here we go. So what we're going to do. So who else is here in the chat? I'm at work. I'll stay as long as I can. Yeah, just keep me playing in the background while you're answering phones and stuff. That should be fine. That should be fine. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get into the chat on my phone. Hang on. Gotta stay hydrated. Y'all, today is day 2 without Diet Dr. Pepper, and I'm kind of sad. I just put my charger into the water. No one. Stay. So yeah, I just I put my charger down and it landed right into the water that is supposed to be here for cleaning my tack. So hang on, let me get into the chat. So if you're here in the chat, tell me what you're doing today. What is going on with you in your life? Tell me what you're doing today. Ah! What is going on? Turn down. Nikki's here. Hey. And Zadel. Uh-oh, Zadel, you've had a rough week. Kelly says her tack is a filthy. You've got a lot of horses to ride, girl. I don't blame you. Zadel, what's been going on with you? What is happening? I've had kind of a rough week too. It's been, I don't know, difficult emotionally. And it's not even the emotional week of my cycle. So I'm just like, why am I feeling extra emotional this week? I'm not sure. And one of my astrology friends was like, well, Mercury's in retrograde. And I'm like, 2020 is a big old negative year. Wouldn't Mercury retrograde in 2020 be like a double negative and then make everything okay? That's just my feelings. Like that's how I think it should work. Okay, so I am wetting a cloth so I can get the dirt and the dust off of my boots. And today, after we've chit-chatted for a minute and talked about where we are in our lives, then I don't know. You know what? Maybe I know why it's been an emotional week. Here's what's been going on with us. Adriana, who's the other moderator or the other admin of the Extra Equestrians group, and who was the the inspiration for Unicorn and Centaur itself, she has a horse now at she has a horse that she's leasing that she has out where my horses are. So we're like together again. Yay. And I've been going out there a couple of evenings this week and I've helped her. So I usually don't only go out to the barn like 2 or 3 times a week. And this week I've been going out a lot more than that. And so maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit more emotionally wrung out. Because not only is it more hours, but it's hours, doing things and interacting with humans. And even though I love Adriana, human interaction is still human interaction. I don't know. So that's been good stuff, but like there's good stress and bad stress in your life. So like even you're allowed to get over emotional and overwhelmed, even if the things that are happening in your life are good and wonderful things. So if don't judge yourself too harshly, if you're like me and you're wondering, like, hey, when you're thinking about it, hey, I really did have a good week. So why the heck do I feel like this? I don't know. Working on more paracord stuff. Nice. Sierra, hey. Sushi. Oh, yeah. I haven't had sushi in a little. Well, no, we had sushi takeout for a little while ago. Every once in a while, we get a craving. My husband will go nuts, though, and he will order like $100 worth of sushi. And I'm like, which is easy to do because it can get expensive. But I'm like, he'll bring it in and I'll be like, who's going to eat all this dang sushi? And then he's like, we are. And I'm like, no, we're not. And then every single piece will get eaten. And we're all like have these big giant bloat bellies and we have to like lay around like land whales afterwards and take little naps. But like we can't stop eating sushi. Maybe that's why I'm upset with him. Maybe I'm like, okay, this is an aggressive amount of sushi. I don't know. I like it. Camber's here hiding from a kiddo, napping with 2 cats. That sounds good. I think I was late for this live stream because I decided to nap today. I was running out of time and I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm just because I'm not a quitter. So I set my alarm and I laid down and I got up and sometimes when you get up from a nap, you're like not ready to get up from a nap. That was me today. Sushi. About to have a bajillion tours. Oh, you can do it, Tabitha. Especially with your pony friends. 2020 has been the longest decade ever. For real. The Clydesdale I talked about in the past was put down last Monday. Oh, that is hard. And that takes a while to recover from. Like it's like, don't let people tell you like it's just a horse. Cause when you make an attachment to an animal, it hurts for a long time. And there's an emptiness in places that you discover that you didn't even realize was there. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's terrible. And a big old Clyde, bud. Stress. It's right to be way too hot to be doing anything. I know. Yeah, for those of y'all in the chat, Tabitha is a tour guide here in Savannah doing horse and carriage tours. And of course, we don't run the tours in Savannah when the weather's too hot for the horses. And it's June, so it's about to be too hot for horses. Where you can run in the early morning and in the evening hours, but sometimes it's hot. I mean, even until 6 and 7 o'clock at night here, it'll be in the 90s with terrible humidity, and you can't work a horse downtown like that. So, and I'm not sure how many people need to be coming down here for tours anyway. Although of all the tours, probably walking tours and carriage tours, at least private tours, are probably the safest. I'm thinking in terms of the coronavirus now. We are all over the place with topics today, and I have not even talked about online horse shows. If you have done, Kelly, I know you're here. If you have not gone out to pick up sushi yet and you're still listening, let us know a little bit about your online horse show experience because I know you've done that. I have not actually, I don't know why I picked this topic today, y'all, because I have not done an online horse show. I haven't run one. I haven't sponsored one. I haven't participated in one, but I know with the pandemic happening, it's kind of where horse shows have gone this year. There are so many online ones, and I am kind of overwhelmed keeping up with them. So I didn't know if anybody wanted to have that discussion today. Like, how do you know if it's a decent show? Are there any that are seriously competitive, like that have actual accredited judges? Is that a thing? See, you can tell I don't show. But that are actually real competitions, but you send in video submissions. So this has been interesting to me this season, watching this unfold. Normally, I spend a show season watching all my friends post their horse show pictures, but this year there haven't been a lot of horse show pictures. This year, it's been a lot of people talking about online shows. And I'm just curious what y'all's experience are in this, what's going on? Because this is a new thing in the horse world, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. This may open the doors to all kinds of new things in horse shows. Like suddenly you don't have to be in a geographical location to participate in a competition, to compete. Tabitha, I'm gonna go ahead and show that one. Tabitha's having a rant. But there's a curse word in it, Tabitha, so it asked if I wanted to hide it or show it. My chat's like, do we want to hide this comment or show it? And I'm like, all right, just show it. Tabitha's the mad, she's cussing. Having our first schooling show in August. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Sierra, your feelings about it then? What are your concerns? That is it an online show or is it an in-person show? And are your concerns related to the illness or like the coronavirus, or your concerns just typical show nerves? Oh my God, it's the first show of the season. Anyway, let me know. Heck of a lot cheaper. I've seen some prices, like somebody was charging $2 a class. And I was like, okay. And then other places I've seen like 20 to 30 and upwards a class. And I'm like, I don't know. It seems a little. Some you can get half points for WDAA lifetime achievements. Okay. I feel like it's too early. It's not online. Okay. Well, that depends on where you are, Sierra. There are some places in the world that are opening back up, and some places that are taking precautions. I know we're having a big spike in cases in the southern U.S. here, but there are summer camps that are happening. One of the therapeutic riding companies here in town, Pegasus Riding Academy, they offer horseback riding camps and lessons for disabled riders. And they're still having their summer camps, but they're having reduced capacity. And when you see the pictures online, people who are not wearing masks are not standing near anyone else. And there's kids and adults all wearing masks and just having good, safe practices. And so when I see pictures of that online, I'm like, okay, that's something good happening. So if it's a show that's done that, but the problem is you're not in control of who cares and who doesn't in a lot of these shows. So you might sign up for one and then you get there and everybody's like jam-packed, crowded, shouting on you, spraying their spit on you and everything in a tiny crowded area. And you're like, this is not what I signed up for. Trish did an online show last weekend, still waiting on results. That's the thing too, like in an actual horse show. So you're going to, like, you're sitting on your horse and you're standing right in front of the judges and you're waiting and they call it right then. Hello, you have just done the thing and you are in, 5th place out of 5. So maybe that's just my personal experience. But so with an online show, you submit a video and you have to wait for a while, days, weeks. I don't know. That seems like that would be a very frustrating aspect of it if that's how that works. You wouldn't drive into a random barn on the side. People are curious about the horses, Tabitha. You know this, child. You need to calm your tits. Thirsty. This is my homemade orange soda. My husband, Scott, got us one of those SodaStream soda makers. This was so I can get off Diet Dr. Pepper. He's so sweet. He's going to make me soda. So I have my homemade diet soda so I can have a bubbly soda water. But I'm not supposed to be having caffeine, you guys. It's not good for my heart and my anxiety. So I'm kicking the Diet Dr. Peppers. I need your love and your support. I need your love. And I forgot what I was saying. So, okay, anyway, I had a border opt out of going to a show. Instead, went to a trail ride with lots of friends. Came back with VSB. VSB? Outbreak. Oh, Camber, forgive me. What is VSV? Is that a thing that I have not? SARS virus? I don't know. Doing first show live next weekend. Excited and nervous. Made me think about how are things easily spread. Time for virtual trails. That might be fun, doing virtual trail rides. I wonder how we do that. Because where I am, I have beautiful trails with the barn where I board my horses at. But sometimes the internet out on the trails is a little spotty because we're out in the woods. We're not in internet range. So I don't know. Some online shows are photos. Oh, have a deadline, usually take a few days to judge. Okay. Sanitizing carriages between tours. Yeah, that's good. Do the tour guides have to wear masks? I would, because like when, especially when you, unless there's something there, because you're shouting. Like, oh, I would. I shouted my tour when I did horse-drawn carriage tours. I was loud. Everybody downtown heard my tour. So, well, this is interesting. So, those of you who have done online shows, how long did you have to wait for your results? Was it a couple of days, or like, did it really make you go crazy? Where you're like, is it almost not worth it to wait? You're like, okay, I paid my money, I did my thing, I sent in my submission, my picture, my video, whatever, and now, is it too much, or is it worth the trade-off for trailer miles, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning on a show day, all of the careful grooming that has to be done the night before, and hoping your horse doesn't lay on his own poop in the stall during the night, all of that kind of stuff. Are those worries gone away because you can just sort of do it on your own time? And that might be a decent trade-off to have to wait for results. Vestibular something virus. Oh, yeah. Hand, foot, and mouth for horses. It is interesting. Florida is having a problem right now with infectious diseases as well. I think I saw an article, yesterday about Zika and West Nile virus also on the rise in Florida right now, in addition to the coronavirus, just because it's like a tropical climate. These kinds of viruses proliferate in, warm climates. So up to them and the guests, they have them not mandatory to wear masks. I would, if I would, not more than 6 people per tour. I don't know. I would. I'm a mask wearer, y'all. I don't like it either. Can I say it? I don't like it. Oh, let me show you. Oh my God, I think they're underneath. Yes, they are. Wait. I have my masks that I made. I don't have them listed in my Etsy store yet, but they're gonna be. I've been kind of selling them locally. Okay. Oh, shoot, don't do that. So I had 3 different fabrics and I was making masks. And this is what I wear around. This is what I wear around town because I have to stay on brand. So I have these with the unicorns. So this has purple and teal and pink unicorns on it. Look at the unicorns, yay. And it has sparkly. The fabric is sparkly. See, you can see the sparkles. So I've got those, and I really like this fabric. They're like, there we go. So these are like carousel unicorns. And then the unicorns with the roses. Eee. So you can be so cute and not spread your droplets. I'm starting to get skeeved out by the word droplet. Like I'll watch the news and they talk about people's respiratory droplets and how the virus carried on droplets. And it's like, it's becoming like the word moist with me. Like I can't hear someone say the word droplet without going. Droplets. I don't want your droplets on me. Please keep your droplets to yourself. Wear a mask and keep your droplets to yourself. Unicorn and purple and sparkly. Yes. I should have those on my Etsy store hopefully by the end of the night. But those of you who are my friends on Facebook, if you want one, just message me for it and I will send it to you. Those are like $15. That includes shipping in the United States. So it's a live stream commercial. Did you know that? Okay. More orange soda. Oh, and my glitter that I got. And speaking of, this is going to be on my Etsy store too. I have biodegradable glitter. I sell them in packages though. So I put it in this kind of container. And this is what I was doing my glitter hooves with. The gold. Because then you put like glue or Mod Podge or whatever on your horse's hooves and then tap, tap, tap this on there. Love it. Love it. And I've been spilling glitter everywhere. And I'm not even mad about it because it's biodegradable and it's cosmetic grade. Let's put somewhere right here. So pretty. Look at me. Okay, I'm done. Droplet of any kind is icky. Yes. I'm like, can we stop talking about droplets? Okay, where'd my other boot go? All right, it's 20 minutes in and I have to oil my boot now. No, I have to soap it up. Can you tell it's been a while since I've done my boots? Is this all my, oh no. Looking for my saddle soap. Okay. Here we go. We're going to soap it up. Soapy soap. So now in terms of activities, like now here we are in the days of coronavirus, what are horse shows going to look like? I don't necessarily think we have to do online horse shows from now on forever and ever, because outdoors, what we've learned in the last few months of studying this virus is that outdoor spaces are safer. And, at first, scientists thought that it was all about, surfaces, like touching contaminated surfaces. And so we were not wanting to touch things. And now we're learning it's more about droplets, respiratory droplets. And that means being outside in open spaces is actually safer. So, I mean, indoor arenas, maybe not have shows in indoor arenas, maybe only have horse shows in outdoor arenas and have ways to maybe have fewer competitors and have ways to keep them spaced. I honestly think you kind of have to do social distancing with horses anyway. I mean, do you park your trailer within 6 feet of another person at a horse show? I wouldn't. So I don't know, like the online shows I think are a good idea in terms of accessibility so that people who may not necessarily be able to come physically to a show can participate. But I don't think that has to be how things are going to be from now on, or at least until a vaccine for the virus is found and nobody has to really worry about it anymore. By the way, I'm not one of those people who thinks things are going to be back to quote unquote normal necessarily after a virus like this has spread its way through the human population on Earth. I think this is going to change a lot of things about how we interact with each other and how we do business in the world and just how everything works. So, of course, on this channel, on Unicorn and Centaur, we want to talk about how it impacts the equestrian community. How does this affect us? Just because that's what kind of channel this is. Not in my real life, I talk about other things, how it affects other areas of my life. But here on this channel, we want to talk about our horses, because that is what, no matter what else is different about us in our lives, no matter what job you have, no matter what neighborhood you live in, no matter what sacrifices you've made to keep your horses, we are all united by our love of these animals on this particular channel. Whether or not you own one, like not all of my subscribers and followers are horse owners. Some of them lease or take lessons. Some of them were equestrians when they were children, and they long to have that experience back again as adults, but they are just not in that world right now. So for those of you who are watching who are not horse owners and who don't do horse shows, the topic tonight might not affect you as much, but it might. Like even at your, like what are you doing with your horses that's online now more than ever? How are we changing our equestrian world because of this virus, because of us having to keep each other safe? What's up?
Sorry, I thought you were talking to Dad or something.
Oh no, Liam's making a cameo. You want to pop in and say hi? Everyone always says hi when you come in.
Huh?
Liam's here. Hi, Liam. Oh my God, Nikki says my neighbors can hear you because I'm installing a driveway alarm. I have you playing over my Bluetooth in my car. They'll hear about glitter hooves. Nice. Tell them my Etsy store is Unicorn and Centaur. Did you already mention the brands of your soap and such? No, actually, the soap that I use. I don't even know what brand it is. It's like it's the same bar of glycerin saddle soap that you can get it's the cheapest saddle soap that you can get in just about any feed and seed store. And so it's just like one long thing of a soap that I just wet the end of it and then kind of rub it all over my boots. And I do have a little bit of mink oil left. I am not really a tack cleaning snob. And when we used to do these tack chats where Adriana would be here and she'd be my co-host with me. So we'd be discussing this topic together. And I miss that. And we see each other at the barn, but we stay like 6 feet apart from each other. So to do a tack chat, we'd have to like sit right beside each other and we'd be talking very animatedly. And so I don't want to do this with masks. But anyway, Adriana is more of a tack cleaning snob than I am. So when I got this mink oil, she was very happy because before this, I was oiling my boots and my bridles with olive oil, and she made fun of me. Because I'm like, oil is oil, right? I mean, there are some oils like coconut oil that have that they are more solid at room temperature than other oils. But I mean, basically it's oil and that's what you condition your leather with. So I do have a little bit of this left. And this was something I actually got for free in a giveaway from the Budget Equestrian. She has a blog and a YouTube channel. She does a lot of DIY stuff on her YouTube channel. Love her YouTube channel. So she had a giveaway when she got to 10,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, and I entered it and I won. And I was like, yeah, because I never win anything. I'm like, yeah. Okay, so I think now I'm going to oil my oil rag. So I'm going to oil my boots. Wait. And I really should do this more. This was how these live streams started, was we started doing tack chats where we were just cleaning our boots and our tack and we were discussing equestrian topics. And I really like doing that. But the videos and the focus of the channel were much more creative. So we decided to go more creative with the live streams. Okay. Oiling up. And you know, I'm going to get them so shiny and oily and pretty. And then I'm going to go to the barn on a dry day and all of that arena dust is just going to coat my boots again. Wah, wah. Okay. There really is not much oil in here at all. Okay, maybe there's a little bit. I kind of like oiling and cleaning my boots. There's something about like rubbing that oil into the leather that's just so satisfying. You know, getting it all into them cracks. They're cracking right here. I should be cleaning these more. Your boots don't crack if you clean them correctly, people. This is me. Do as I say, not as I do. Learn from my mistakes, kids. Boots are too expensive to let them dry out and crack. Y'all. All right, I think I am going to waterproof them as we're talking, but hang on. Get back to chat. Now I've got oily hands. Kimber says, I feel like they could definitely make in-person shows work. They could run it in shifts instead of hanging out. Yeah. What if the judges, that might be interesting. Like instead of having a judge's box on one side of the arena, what if the judges were stationed at different parts of the arena? Then everybody gets a different view too. People won't be able to audit as much, maybe. Yeah. No hanging out. Virtual coaching. There is a Facebook group that gives fairly good advice from what I've seen. Now, I'm not 100% vouching for them, but it's a Facebook group called Ask the Trainers. Ask the Trainers No Unauthorized Advice. And you can post pictures and video and tell them what's going on with your horse. And it's not just anybody who can reply. So they have like a list of approved trainers that will answer your question. And I've seen people ask questions from like having groundwork problems to having problems under saddle, to having problems with tack and fitting and things like that. So they tend to have, they may have like a training program where you can do something like that weekly. That might be interesting if you're a trainer to do virtual lessons and have someone. How would that work? I wonder if you could do like a live. I know people that have done live music lessons, like in Google Hangouts. I wonder if there's a way to do lessons like that. like Zoom lessons or something. But somebody would have to have the camera for you and be telling you what, is that a thing already? Are people doing virtual lessons and I just don't know about it? Because that's a really good question, Trish. All right, hang on. Let me get another sip of my orange soda. Okay. Got my glitter, got my boots. Oh, I do want a waterproof. My boots are waterproof. There are days when I go out to the barn that I don't wear these. Like I wore my running shoes the other day to the barn, and it always makes me feel like such a poser, such a wannabe pretender, because you want to wear your boots to the barn. But if I'm going to be doing more groundwork than riding, which I did with our tacks, I was going to have to do a lot of groundwork with our tacks that day. So if I'm going to do a lot more groundwork than riding, I wear my sneakers because they're more comfortable to walk in. If I walk around all day in these areas, my toes will hurt at the end of the day. Anyway, but then I went early in the morning when there was still dew on the grass. So 5 minutes after I got to the barn, my feet were soaked. And I get home and I pull everything off and my feet are like those white mushroom feet. Wow. Oh my God. So I need to wear these next time I go. Got to wear my boots, even if my toes hurt. Oh. So yeah, did some stuff with Artex in the round pen because he was a very good boy. And he needs some work. He needs to work out. He's been acting up in the paddock and playing rough with his friends. He's got a ton of energy, so I need to burn that off of it. So I had thought about doing a virtual show this summer, but I admit my anxiety got the better with me. Number one, I already had kind of a lot on my plate with Unicorn and Centaur, with the videos and the live streams and, making stuff and just all the stuff I was already doing. And then the thought of having to figure it all out on top of all the things I was doing kind of made me dig in my heels. And so I didn't do it. So I don't know if you've had that experience too, let me know. If you're like, oh, online shows, that sounds awesome. But then when it comes down to actually like signing up for one, you're like, like maybe you're, I don't know what it is. I'm not, okay, maybe part of it was that I'm afraid. I want to say that I'm not afraid, but I think maybe part of it was that I'm afraid because in an actual show, like maybe nobody's videotaping you. But in a virtual show, it's on video. Like once it's happened, I don't know. I feel like once it's out there, it's obvious. And if I'm terrible, then it's all over. I can no longer like hide behind on this side of the camera and pretend that my writing is great. I would have like video and judging confirmation that no, my writing is crap and I need to work on a lot. Or things like, what if they told me something horrible about my horse that I didn't want to know? All right. Oh, Lord, I hate this part. Which one did I do? Okay, I think I can tell. So I guess there was a part of me, that was a part of my anxiety was not wanting to look stupid. Let's be real. I don't want to look dumb. Nobody does. But the other part of the anxiety was figuring out something new, like figuring out how to do a new sort of process causes me quite a bit of anxiety. So a lot of times before I do something new, I have to kind of do a lot of research and sort of practice things in my mind and make sure that I know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to say, and I know what to expect, because it'll really throw me off when things that I don't expect happen. And that's when something might happen where I might have a panic attack or I might cry. This sounds so dumb to say out loud. But so I think that was part of it too. Part of my anxiety, figuring out a whole new process and not wanting to look dumb during that process. And then also having video evidence that I'm a terrible writer. So if you have not done a virtual show, what were your reasons for not doing it? Let me know that too. This may be a short chat today because I'm already done with my boots. See, virtually, usually a video you send in, you get it back with a voiceover. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering how that works. Like, do they send you an email? But having a voiceover is that would be awesome actually to look at a video of myself with voiceover commentary from maybe from someone who wasn't being mean. See, I've also had writing coaches in my past who were mean. And I don't do well with mean coaches. I don't. I just sort of I'm not motivated that way. I'm a positive motivation person. I want someone telling me how I'm going to change the world by going on, not how I'm an idiot for not going on. I don't know. Anyway, so I have had negative experiences with that. Maybe that's where another part of the anxiety comes from. Seeing places online that offer showing virtual coaching, into clinics that have a video portion of each person. Everyone watches and gets to hear the trainer's feedback. That sounds neat. I've never been to a big clinic like that, and I think that would be neat. So, like, you'd come prepared with a video that you had already made to share beforehand, or that's what I'm thinking. Or like during the course of the clinic that the video is made and that everyone gets feedback. That does sound neat. Now, I'm not afraid of getting feedback. I mean, I'm an actor. I have a degree in theater, and part of good theater training is learning how to handle rejection and criticism. You are taught in theater, at least I was taught, to get 50 no's for every yes. You're going to hear no 50 times for every one yes you hear. So go out and get your 50 no's. Go out and get, it's the same kind of principle for horror shows. Go out and do your crappy shows. You'll get better and better. Things will happen for you. So I'm not afraid of the negative feedback necessarily, but few videos on YouTube on how to record for a virtual show. Oh, yeah. Never shown for a variety of reasons, not the least of which I get crazy nervous about just the idea of it. Yes! Think I'd actually be better off about doing virtual shows. If you ever did decide to show. Yes, Nikki. So I think for people with specific kinds of anxiety about showing, that might be virtual showing might be a good idea. Then you can do it on your own time. You can do it. There's not like a whole bunch of spectators around. It's just you and your camera person. That might be a lot better for certain types of folks. Magurine, I hope I'm saying that right. Magurine Luca, I've had a unicorn horse show. That sounds fun. We were videoed in the morning session and spent hot afternoons watching our videos, a group of the trainers. So nervous, but it's fabulous. That sounds great, actually, to get all the work out of the way before it gets hot. And then hopefully you have someplace cool, at least to sit under a fan or with your air conditioning or with your orange soda. That sounds like the best horse camp ever. Riding all morning and then talking about riding all afternoon. That sounds fantastic. Well, I hope if people are going to tune in late, I hope they're not like, oh my God, I missed all of it. But I think we're going to wrap up the live stream now. Every once in a while, we have one that doesn't quite go an hour. And unless we want to sit and talk more about horse shows, because we covered the differences between the virtual horse shows and the in-person horse shows. There are pros and cons to both, not just in terms of coronavirus and keeping people safe from the pandemic, but also in terms of just how different it is to different people's mindsets. Like virtual shows may be better for some people and in-person shows may be better for other people. I kind of hope that online horse shows will expand the showing opportunities for people online, but not muddy the waters. Does that make sense? Like maybe to offer more fun opportunities and variety. No, off topic. Do you like the soda stream? Yes, I do. Here we go, off topic. As the CO2 in the tank gets lower and lower, your bubbles aren't quite as fizzy. And you don't really tell until you change out the canister. And then when the fresh canister happens, you're like, oh, this is the good stuff. Like, oh, that's the fresh stuff. And we get like flavored drops that you normally just put in regular water. And we use that. We don't use like the soda flavors. We just use like the little Mio or whatever it is, drippy water flavors. And I like my favorites are like grape and orange, to make grape or orange soda. I do miss my Diet Dr. Pepper though. I'm jonesing hard. I might, y'all. Unicorn. Have vets explain the dangers of dressage. The show. My Arabian Mergreen is he's 15 hands. He's kind of a little guy, but he's pretty cool. Dr. Pepper's a herd flavor to reproduce. I see what you did there. I know that's probably a typo, but I thought that was a funny one. All right, I am going to get off the live stream now. I love you guys, and thank you so much for showing up today. I learned a lot about online horse shows today, and I hope that you guys do too. And I hope you have clean boots now, like I do, or at least got something going on one of your creative projects. And look who's here. It's Cherry Blossom. Hi, Cherry. It's not a live stream until one of the cats shows up. Thank you guys. I love you guys so much. And I will see you next week for next week's live stream. Maybe I will have my act together and we'll be able to do the Royal Crown, Queen's Crown helmet cover by then. So fingers crossed for that. Bye, guys.